Azurean.
We're here going to be talking about the Spectacular Spider-Man
Oh, I love the Spectacular Spider-Man. He's my favorite.
series. Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No wonder we're doing this video. Awesome. So I had seen the show back in the day, but Azurean had not seen it until recently.
I knew it existed, saw the toys. That was about it.
Speaking of toys...
Oh! Venom, he's returned!
Look, it's very blurry, but you can see it's Venom.
Oh.
This is actually a toy from, I want to say it's from Burger King, of Venom from this show.
Oh. The arch nemesis of Mask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Venom.
Okay.
It's a really ridiculous acronym.
Yes, I'm sure it is.
Speaking of Mask, Sakako, I have a confession to make.
What's that?
I am wearing a mask myself. I'm not actually the Serene Azurean.
You aren't!
I'm the Spider-Man's.
Spider-Man in my video about Spider-Man?
Totally licensed.
Specifically the Spectacular
Ah,
Spider-Man.
yes. With the spectacular Sakanko the fan.
Aww. Do you care to sing me your theme song?
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
No, that is a theme song. I am referring to the Spectacular Spider-Man theme song.
Radioactive Spider-Man.
That's Spider Blood. You're talking about Spider Blood, radioactive Spider Blood from the 90s one?
That's what I said, wasn't it?
But yeah, it's this one right here. I have right here.
Oh, a hero can save us. It's something, I don't remember the words. It's been a while since I've seen Spider-Man. That is myself in the mirror every morning.
I mean, you could be singing the Weird Al version. Anyway, it's living on the edge, fighting crime, spinning webs, swinging from the highest ledge, she can leap above our heads. Villains on the rise and the city's victimized, looking up with no surprise, arriving in the speed of time. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man, spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man, spectacular. Crawling through the night, facing evil with his might. He's a hero in our eyes, seeing headlines every time. Making villains fall, webbing rivals to a fault. Racing up and down the walls, bringing justice to us all. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man, spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man, spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man, spectacular. Yay!
I'm Spider-Man.
So yeah, I didn't know there was a second verse to that, but I found it online. I was like, hey, it works and it fits the same measure, so I was like, yeah, let's go for it.
I find that's true for quite a few of the shows I've watched, where it's like, oh yeah, the intro's about a minute long. I look on YouTube and I find a 3-minute version of the song that never aired.
I definitely have known anime to do that too. And I think, did Spider-Man ever get an anime? I know he got Japanese, like, Tokusatsu show.
I know X-Men got it.
Yeah,
and,
Blade and Wolverine got a separate one for some reason. I'm trying to remember if there was a fourth one. I can't think of what it is now.
Yeah, I got to. In Japan, it wasn't me though. Oh. It was a different Spider-Man. He was an emissary from hell, apparently.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I mean HFIL. And he's from Planet Spider.
Oh.
And his costume is stored in his wrist, and he's one of the few, henshin heroes in Japan that...
Henshin means transform.
Yes, that has to actually change his costume. It's not automatic. It's stored in his wrist and it comes out, but then he has to put the costume on. Whereas
that seems a little awkward.
Yeah, almost every series, definitely every series after that, the costume just appears.
So in Spectacular Spider-Man, you are played by Josh Keaton.
A very handsome and talented actor.
He has done many other roles. He was young Hercules in Disney's Hercules. He was Revolver Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid 3. His voice is Destroy Man in the No More Heroes games. Shiro in Voltron, Legendary Defenders. He was also Norman Osborn in the 2017 Spider-Man animated series. Voice of Electro in the PlayStation 4 Marvel Spider-Man game. And he was also Spider-Man in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And Spider-Man The Edge of Time.
Oh.
Where the other Spider-Man in the game was actually played by the 90s animated series Spider-Man's voice actor.
Oh, were there two Spider-Man in that one?
Yes, Spider-Man, the Miguel O'Hara from the future, the Spider-Man from the future. He was ironically voiced by the Spider-Man who preceded him from the 90s.
I don't have a lot of time to play games, fighting villains and all that. Plus, I'm clearly an adult and not a teenage boy.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man does grow up in the comics and ends up becoming an adult.
This is the real world, Sakonko.
Yeah, that's true. Next, the list of actors, I've kind of placed them in a bit of a random order. Ben Diskin, who's voice of Eddie Brock, and Venom.
Shoot, I wanted to say one more about Josh Keaton. Spider-Man. He actually, apparently, the story I had heard, I haven't verified.
Yeah.
But he actually recorded the lines for Spider-Man in the one episode he appears in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
He recorded all the dialogue for that character. It was going to be his, his return, not necessarily return, but a great reference to the Spectacular Spider-Man. And then they decided to
recast him and redub him.
Yep, because they had casted a new Spider-Man for his standalone series, and they wanted him to record the voice, and they went back and redubbed it. He's from Josh and Drake.
Yes, Drake and Josh. Drake Bell.
My bad. Yes, Drake Bell.
Yes.
So he went through and re-recorded all of Josh Keaton's lines.
Yeah, that's kind of a shame. I wonder what he feels about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, as I was saying, Ben Diskin was the voice of Eddie Brock in Venom in the show. He is also better known as Jack on Beastars, Haida in Agretzko, and Shiro Ogami in BNA, Brand New Animal, among many other things. I just felt like keeping it narrowed down to those. Many of the other voice actors, I was way too elaborate on some of the voices they've provided, but some of them I try to keep a little brief. Next on my list, I have Clancy Brown, who I'm sure you all know quite well, but he was voice of Captain George Stacy, the Rhino, and Ox.
Oh, yeah, Paul Giamatti.
No, not that Rhino.
Probably the best Rhino.
But yeah, Clancy Brown, I'm sure most of you probably know him best as... the
stepdad from Pet Sematary 2.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best known as...
I would think people would more likely know him as Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob SquarePants.
Never heard of it.
That's probably his biggest claim to fame these days. Most people would know him from that, but he's done so many other roles, some of which I think you wanted to mention.
No?
I'm
just kidding. He was in Starship Troopers.
Oh.
And one of my very high on the list of movies, John dies at the end.
Which is not, I don't know. Should I say it's not a spoiler or it is a spoiler?
You have to watch the movie to find out.
Guess so.
And he's also he's in numerous cartoons like the Justice League Unlimited. He did, I believe in that show, and I could be wrong, that it was General Eiling. Is that how you say it?
I believe so.
He definitely played him in the Flash CW show and was the voice of Gorilla Grodd in all subsequent appearances.
Okay.
And, he was also...
Didn't he also voice Lex Luthor, or am I thinking of somebody else?
Yeah, I believe he also voiced Lex Luthor.
Because I was like, I want to say Clancy, I knew Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor long before I knew him as Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, he was also... in The Mandalorian.
Ah.
He was, I do not remember the character's name, so fight me, but he was like a Red Devil guy.
Ah.
With a lot of makeup.
All right, next I have is Alan Ratchins. I might be pronouncing that wrong. If anybody knows, post in the comments. He was the voice of Norman Osborne on the show. He was also the Clock King in Batman the Animated Series and Justice League Unlimited, which I thought was a rather noteworthy thing to mention.
Clock King, one of the best villains of Batman the Animated Series.
He was definitely
no superpowers.
He was definitely a pretty cool character.
Yeah, very formidable.
Indeed. Next is one that I got way too many credits on him. Crispin Freeman as the voice of Electro. I actually got the comic book. Wait, do I have the comic book out? I thought I had Electro comic book. Oh, whatever. So yeah, Electro. And he was the voice of Mysterio in the 2018 cartoon. He is the voice of Kirin Maru in Yashahime. Alucard in Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate. Tachi Uchiha in all the Naruto shows and games. Hideki Motosua in Chobits. Sume in Wolf's Rain. Togasa in all the Ghost in the Shell projects. He is also Winston from Overwatch.
Oh, yes.
Which is pretty being talked about a lot lately now that the sequels come out.
Yeah, not for good things.
Yeah, unfortunately. He was Straight Cougar in Scried, Hibiki Amoy in I My Me Strawberry Eggs, and lastly, kind of interesting, he was Roy Harper in Young Justice.
Yes.
So,
and all of his clones.
It's kind of funny that he would voice, Marvel and DC characters, and I came to find there was quite a few that had Marvel and DC roles. Next on my list, James Arnold Taylor is the voice of Harry Osborne. Was also the voice of the leader in Hulk Agents of Smash. The voice of Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank games and movie. He voiced Obi-Wan in a bunch of the animated shows and movies. I didn't see if he was him in every one of them, but there was a lot of credits for him voicing Obi-Wan, so he seems to be Disney / Lucasfilm's go-to voice.
I love Disney.
For Obi-Wan.
I love what they did with Disney's Spider-Man.
Then he's also Adam Lyon in My Gym Partner's a Monkey. Tidus in Final Fantasy X and X2. Green Arrow in Batman the Brave and the Bold. The voice of young Emmett Brown in Back to the Future the game. And Menasor in Transformers Devastation.
Yeah. I've seen Transient Player play that on her streams
Indeed.
on Twitch several times.
Yes. Next, Tom Adcox, or Thom Adcox. The voice
nice.
Okay, he's the voice of the Tinkerer. Actually have...
yeah, sometimes I can't really hold it, and I also become a Tinkerer.
Yeah, the Tinkerer.
Yeah.
This guy right here. Man, it's so hard to show it up. Hopefully you guys can make that out there.
That's me. You want me to sign
that is
that
you.
for you, Sakonko?
No, I'll have you sign it later.
Yeah, no, I'll sign it right now.
But yeah, the Tinkerer. He was also the voice of Lexington in Gargoyles.
Yes.
Which Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man was actually created by the creator of the Gargoyles cartoon.
Yes, it has numerous references throughout the series.
Indeed. And he even makes a cameo here or there, the creator. And he also, Tom Adcox also played Clarion the Witch Boy on Young Justice.
Yes.
So yet another DC
oh, yeah, that's
character.
right. That was him.
All right. Next, Dorian Harewood was Dr. Bromwell. Kind of a minor role, but he was in a handful of episodes. He's Aunt May's doctor. He was Tombstone in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Wild.
He was Moto, the Biker Mice from Mars character, I believe in both the original and the reboot. Martian Manhunter in the Batman. And Jim Rhodes in the Iron Man series from 1994. So he was Tombstone and Rhodey in at the same time in 1994. So that's pretty wild. And Karen Michael Richardson was the voice of Tombstone in this show. Next, we got Steve Bloom. He was the voice of both Green Goblin and Chameleon. And he's known for so many things. Among them, Spike Spiegel comes to mind as a pretty famous one.
He's Tom.
Yes, Tom, the host of Toonami. Yes, in most incarnations. I think there's maybe one or two that he didn't voice him, but he's the primary voice of him. He's way too many to list here.
Starscream, Transformers Prime, and several other voices.
John DiMaggio as Hammerhead and Sandman. Again, he is definitely somebody who has voiced so many characters you'd be familiar with. Bender from Futurama, Jake the Dog from Adventure Time are some of the really big ones you probably would know. Let's see, I didn't miss anybody, did I? Let me make sure I'm not skipping any that I did all this work for. I guess not. Okay, so next...
biggest downfall of the Spider-Man mask.
Peter McNichol. I should have mentioned Sandman. I have a Sandman comic here.
Nope, I'm good. Oh, yeah.
No, wait, that's not Sandman. What am I doing? There's Sandman. Sandman was actually done fairly well, both in his fights and his characterization. But anyway, next we have...
a real gritty appeal.
Peter McNichol voiced Doc Ock. Peter McNichol, known for his appearance as Janosch in Dracula Dead and Loving It. No, wait. I'm getting mixed up. Janosch is from Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
It's Renfield in Dracula Dead and Loving It. Getting my wires crossed there. And he was in Ally McBeal. He was in Numbers. And a handful of other things you probably know him for. But yeah, Peter McNichol, pretty famous guy out there. Next, Alana Ubach is Liz Allen. She's been in a lot of things. She was assistant to Beekman in Beekman's World. And if you've been a longtime follower of the channel, Lionel actually got her autograph on a signed picture of a bunch of her characters. Nice. So, yeah. But yeah, Beekman's World, I grew up watching that show, and she's one of the two assistant characters to him. And as probably one of the few times I saw a voice actor before I got to know them doing voices. But then Lacey Chabert as Gwen Stacy, D. Bradley Baker as Kurt Connors. Definitely a big voice actor there. He's done so many characters out there. I'd hesitate to try to list any of them there. If you feel like looking into this, you probably have heard of him. Cass Sosi as Martha Connors. Robert Englund as Vulture.
Has he done any other noteworthy things, Robert Englund?
Yes.
I should have brought the glove.
He is Freddy Krueger.
Yay!
He's the one and only Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, well...
One and only Freddy
Okay.
Krueger. But yeah, he voices the Vulture.
Oh.
You help me hold that one up there? Thank you. Here you go, Vulture.
Oh yeah, I actually had that queued up here because there's an interesting thing about his initial appearance.
And I forgot we talked about mentioned Kurt Connors briefly. He is the lizard.
I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, but in the show he's gray, black, different shades of gray and black and red. In his initial appearance, he's all green. That's like an initial appearance at the start of the episode. Later in the episode, he's no longer green.
Huh.
Although you can see the background is lit by green, so maybe that's
lizard.
it. So I thought that was kind of neat. They went with a classic color and then they switched it.
The lizard.
A coloration which stayed with one of the later series. Which one was it?
Yeah, was this the Vulture I showed off? I think it was, yeah.
Adrian Toomes.
Yes, Adrian Toomes. Next, I have Miguel Ferrer as Silvermane, Trisha Helfer as Black Cat, Ed Asner as Uncle Ben. Ed Asner famously was Spider-Man fans. It was J. Jonah Jameson in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Great J. Jonah Jameson.
He was, there's not a whole lot of J. Jonah Jameson actors that I think didn't do it justice. I think they all captured the character quite well. But yeah, I didn't happen to mention the Enforcers also featured heavily in the show.
Yes.
They were very minor antagonists in the comics from what I'm familiar with. But they wanted to capture the characters from the comics so well that they included even some of these characters that didn't get adapted in other shows. Basically, they're just a bunch of tough guys with, minor gimmicks. Like one guy is, got a lasso that he uses. But they repurposed them. They made one of them into a Shocker. So they just, changed the origin of the Shocker to make him the Shocker. And the last one I have here is Amazing Fantasy, number 15.
Oh.
They recreate this in the opening sequence of every episode, showing the newspaper, the Daily Bugle. It shows him saving, I want to say it's Captain Stacy in the picture. I'm not sure. It's somebody. Or actually, no. The first episode, he rescued Norman Osborne during that pose.
Oh.
But I'm not sure if that was one in the opening. But in any case...
Actually, Sakanko, there is one more comic I wanted to show off, but before I do, I have another confession to make.
What's that?
I'm not actually Spider-Man.
Oh my goodness!
What's happening? I'm actually Spider-Man!
Ah! Oh my goodness! Wait, what?
A Spider-Man.
What?
See, I'll prove it to you. Here's Venom. Defeated! With ease, Sakanko. And also, don't forget my issue number 3 appearance in numerous Marvel comics, but in particular, one of my favorites, as you may guess from the background, is my appearance in Transformers issue number 3. Never mind the number on this that says it's comic 2, because this is number 2 digest, but it came 2 issues per comic.
Oh.
So it is the first comic in this double issue. You can see the first cover and that cover. And I wrap up Megatron completely in a webbing cocoon, and he somehow managed to break out almost instantaneously.
I wonder how.
And I couldn't save their friend Gears.
Oh,
But Prime
no!
didn't seem to be too upset. He said he wasn't dead, but he wasn't alive.
Oh.
Whatever that means.
Okay.
That was back in my black suited days.
Ah. Back when you were cool.
Yeah. Is that it? Did we cover everything?
I mean, that's all the names that I had written down here.
Oh, no. Sakanko,
So basically, just to have to see what Azurean's thoughts are.
What do you
mean? Do you know what Azurene is?
Yeah, I have a confession to make, Sakanko. I'm not actually Spider-Man.
You aren't? I thought you double were Spider-Man.
I'm actually the Serene Azurene.
Oh my goodness! My girlfriend's Spider-Man!
Yeah, I was Spider-Man the whole time.
Well, tell us what you thought of the show now, then.
I enjoyed it. It was definitely a lot more fun than I thought it would be as a kid. I remember seeing, the toys and things and thinking, oh, this is too childish. Because I was used to the mature 90s show, which, if you go back and watch it, holds up pretty well, but it also has a lot of shortcomings.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if
Very
you haven't
fascinating.
seen it in a long time or ever. But you can definitely see the flaws of that one. This one, I think, still holds up.
Yes, it still holds. The animation is a lot more watchable, too. It's more fluid.
Yeah,
and,
they didn't try to do cringy 3D that wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, and you know what? The original one did a great job of involving lots of different characters.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it was a lot longer. It was a lot longer of a show, the original 90s Spider-Man show. So they had a lot more time to develop the various characters and storylines from the comics. But sadly, Spectacular Spider-Man only got 2 seasons of 13 episodes. 13
Yep, 13 episodes apiece, 26 episodes total.
Yeah.
And they would plant seeds. Sure, the show was rather episodic, but not completely. And they would leave seeds for future characters here and there. They would be a name that we've mentioned offhanded.
Indeed.
And they might revisit it later, but if you're a fan, you would be like,
They said the name! In fact, in the second season, they were teasing up a bunch of different characters that were going to appear in season 3. Maury Bench's name shows up. He's Hydro Man. There's a scene in the asylum where we see a red-headed criminal there that
named Cletus.
Oh, did they actually?
Yep.
I don't think they did. They?
Yep,
actually?
they did.
Okay.
They said his name. They're they don't say who he is initially. They cut away, because he wasn't the focus of the
Yeah.
scene, and they said, "Thank you, Cletus," and then they kept going.
Oh, so was he like talking in group or something?
Yeah, he was talking in group. Well, we assume he was talking.
Yeah.
We couldn't, he doesn't. You don't actually hear any voices.
Yeah, they hadn't obviously he did not cast his voice yet because they weren't planning on having him be in the show until the next season.
Wait, was Miguel Ferrer? Was he also? Oh yeah, no, Silvermane. Who was the other guy?
What other guy?
Wasn't Silvermane? Is he the Miguel Ferrer? He's the one from Dexter, right?
I think you're thinking of the guy who played Black Cat's father.
That's the one. That's the one. My bad. I mixed those up. Yeah, he's in a bunch of things too. With Black Lightning.
But anyway, there was a lot of different things that were teased that were going to be in the third season, but the third season didn't get to happen. I believe it might have been due to Disney buying Marvel.
It may have
I
been.
think I remember reading about that.
It was around that time. Because, what was it? Disney bought Marvel. Like, it was... I believe Iron Man came out on its own, and as did Incredible Hulk. I could be wrong, but Disney bought it out shortly after. I think only if maybe just Iron Man and the Hulk made it through before the Disney acquisition. Although Hulk was Universal, or still is Universal, actually.
Yeah, they still have to loan him out for things.
Yeah, he's not allowed to star in his own solo movies, but he could star in TV shows, and he can play second fiddle in movies.
So I want to say the show came out 2008, 2009.
Yeah,
so that was about that
right.
time, right?
Sounds about right, yeah. So that would have been really close to Disney acquisition.
So yeah, presumably after season 2 aired, the acquisition happened, and they were like, "Yeah, we want to go a different direction. Sorry, your show's done."
Is our video done?
Unless you have anything else you want to say about the show.
That's it.
Okay.
I like Spider-Man. Tom Holland is adorable.
I mean...
You know who else I liked in the Spider-Man costume? Was, oh no, Daniel Radcliffe.
Really?
He went to a Comic-Con, dressed up as Spider-Man, and then he I was like, that's the guy from the Farting Corpse movie. Oh yeah, Swiss Army Man. I loved him in Swiss Army Man.
Okay, I'll have to watch that then.
What? You haven't seen it yet?
No, I thought you knew that. But anyway, we're recording this just before we're going to watch the season finale of She-Hulk. So we might end up doing a video talking about that for next Friday. But I hope you guys enjoyed hearing us go on about The Amazing Spider-Man. Definitely a great show. Check it out on Netflix. Surprisingly not on Disney Plus, but on Netflix.
Oh no, I do remember. I just remembered.
Oh, what's that?
Just definitely check those out. But we didn't show any of the pictures.
Yeah, you said they were going to freeze up the camera.
We can do it real quick. We're at the end of the video. So just real quick, we wanted to touch on these images. This is
Can they see that?
Oh, you're right. They can't see it. They can't see it. Oh, hold on a second. Let me cue it up. Let me cue it up. We're at the end. Just in case it freezes up, we are going to do...
What do I do with the...
Lamb. All right, you can see some of the stuff on our desktop here.
Oh, wait, it fell down. That was it.
But you can see here, this is from the intro of the show. I believe this is the only place that it appears.
He's back! I was showing the comic
they
issue
actually
there.
wrote, I don't know, you can't read them. They're not, I don't think, but they are actual words here.
Yes, that was an interesting thing about the show. They didn't just use lorem ipsum. There was times, especially in the opening sequence, where you could see the text on the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in the show episodes, there would often be times where the text would just make no sense. It was be just like a jumble of things people wrote about the happenings of the show. He just did not see. But yeah, there's the cast of cast of characters. This is actually a recreation of issue 100.
Yeah, pretty faithful. Although Spider-Man's foot is twisted slightly differently.
That is the poster or the advertisement poster for the show, showing Doc Ock's tentacles. I see Sandman's fist, and the Vulture up above in the silhouette of the moon, and I think I see Electro's electricity there.
There you go.
So there you go. There's the
there's
issue
the,
100 that I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
So yeah, it's got quite a lot of difference in the style of the characters, but it's still still pretty cool. But yeah, there's issue Amazing Fantasy number 15. This is just so we're clear, these are all reprints that were in a newspaper.
Yeah, if this were the original, it would be like in a glass case.
Yeah, it'd be worth a lot.
It would be in a poly bag with an acid-free backer inside another poly bag inside a protective case.
Yes.
One of those giant screw downs.
But anyhow, as we were saying, thanks for watching. Also, oh my goodness, Spider-Man enlarged by bamboo.
Oh my gosh! It's so thick and long.
It's so much softer and tastier.
Yeah. I thought Lionel gave that to you.
Well, way to spoil the magic. Yes, thank you, Lionel. You got this for me at Megaplex this year.
That's Megatron's clone from Machine Wars.
But yeah, if we're breaking the magic about it, here's the original one.
But I wanted to give Lionel some credit.
Yeah,
okay.
It's actually shorter, but it's much bigger and it's much softer.
It's not about the size, it's about how you use it.
But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. And hopefully if we enjoyed She-Hulk's season finale, we'll do another video for next Friday and let you know what we think. So we already think the show is great, so we definitely recommend you check out the show. It's on Disney Plus if you have access to it. And you're a fan of Marvel things, well, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go watch She-Hulk. Definitely worth watching. I don't think it requires too much knowledge of other Marvel properties, but it's a fairly entertaining show. Basically, you might need to know like the movie Doctor Strange, and obviously you need to know who Incredible Hulk is.
That's you.
Okay, and
that's it.
yeah, I think
that's
video.
Everything. Forget the Hulk. This is all about me.
But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See y'all next week, and happy Friday!
Happy Friday!